We're back with some more Moon Girl magic. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we're here with Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, Season 2, Episode 9. It's been quite a few months since we last got to this. We took a bit of a break. And part of the reason for the break is I was kind of waiting for more episodes to be released, and that has not happened. We still only have the first half of the season released, and it's been quite a while. Like, the first half was released, like, at the beginning of this year. So that's pretty wild. I'm almost wondering if we're even going to get more by the end of this year, by the end of 2024. That would suck if, like, you had to wait an entire year just for the second half of the season. It's not like you're waiting for another season. You're waiting for the second half of this season. I don't know. But we're going to try to go through the rest of what we can for now. And last we left off, we had an episode that focused on Devil himself, and specifically kind of this entire thing with other animal sidekicks and misunderstandings about how they're being treated and looked at by their human counterparts. It was stupid. It was a bad episode and probably the worst of this entire series so far. But bad episodes happen. There's no such thing as a perfect series. Every show is going to have a bad episode or two here and there. So hopefully most of the rest of this just continues to be good. That's pretty much all we can hope for. So I don't know what else is to come, because I guess you could say fortunately I haven't heard anything else, but also that does kind of concern me that I haven't heard really anyone talking about this series as much. It really sucks when shows that are so good just don't get the attention they deserve, whether due to bad advertising or other things. So hopefully the second half of this season, when it does come out, can kind of reinvigorate things, but we'll see. I really don't want this series to be canceled as well. After we already had that shit with so many other shows, like Owl House and whatnot, I don't want this one to be canceled. Even if it is given a chance to finish things out, it definitely deserves more. So let's just see where this goes and see what this episode has in store for us. I think that's all we can do here, so yeah, let's get back to it. Cutting in here real quick to remind you of all the awesome content we have on the channel. Between Monday and Friday, we have a plethora of awesome series reactions, with 2 on Wednesday. We also have movie reactions every Saturday and Sunday, as well as Let's Plays. We currently alternate between Horizon Forbidden West and Baldur's Gate 3 every day, as well as have Nier Automata on Saturdays. And don't forget to follow the link in the description below to today's reaction. I do redirect all reactions just due to copyright. And on top of that, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more awesome content like this. Thank you so much for tuning in, and let's get to today's reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Okay, so this was a good, simple return to things. Brought back in Marvel, Kid Kree, whatever you want to call him. And we had a pretty simple one with the STEM kids who we'd seen before, and a little bit of heist movie action going on, Devil appreciating the art. It was pretty fun. It was pretty fun. I like the heist aspects. I like how all of them are like really excited to do this, especially the one girl. It's like that's really cute. That's really fun. And I even like the kind of encouragement theme in this. Pointing out that, like, yeah, you may be a kid, but kids can be just as capable, just as awesome, just as reliable as anyone, just as smart even, in terms of, you know, the STEM aspect of it all. But it's it's also just, fun. Like, outside of, like, the good messages and everything, like, this continues to be a series that's just fun to watch, that's entertaining. There's a lot of great expressions with the characters, a lot of great art and animation. The music is, as always, fantastic. And I think the biggest appeal of this series, for me at least, tends to be the style of it. Not just the visual style, not just the artistic style, but like the overall like vibes of the series. It has this very stylistic, thematic like feeling to it in terms of how everything comes together, and it's kind of meant to, because a lot of this series goes through a lot of different themes and topics, such as culture and things that people of color go through and whatnot. Various topics such as that, and even other things such as like classism and whatnot. Like our villain in this episode is, I wouldn't quite call it classist, but he looks down on pretty much everyone, if we're being honest, but especially kids, because he sees them as lesser, because he's an adult. He has, 6 PhDs? He's an adult, he has 6 PhDs, he's smart, but not smart enough. And he acts like he's just this superior life form, and it's wild. And like I said in the reaction, like I said when we paused it, there are people like this. I've definitely interacted with people like this, and it's just like, it's so annoying. Just people like having this superiority complex because of stupid things like that. It's like, your PhDs don't make you better. Your age doesn't make you better. What makes someone better than someone else is how they treat others around them. People who treat others with respect and kindness and, caring, those are the people who are better. The people who are also humble and aren't going to brag about being better. Who aren't going to, like, try and, like, make these claims that they're better in the first place. If you're constantly having to tell people you're better than them, you're not better than them. Someone who's actually a better person wouldn't be bragging about that, wouldn't be like rambling on about how they're better because they have 6 PhDs, or because they're an adult, or because they are quote unquote wiser, which is stupid for a number of reasons, but it's just not how that works. But unfortunately, there's so many people in our world who act like that. And it's disgusting. It's really disgusting that anyone would look down on someone else for perceived notions of superiority like that. But we can just strive to be better than that. We can strive to, be better people, be more respectful and kind, and just not be assholes, basically. I'm glad that we're seeing more of these STEM kids, but I really still wish we saw more of the other classmates, too. I feel like they're just constantly being left behind as characters, and it's really sad. Because they have so much potential, they have so much depth to them, especially like with the queer aspect of a lot of their characters. But it's just like, I feel like they've been kind of left behind at the moment. And it really sucks. And I'm not saying that the STEM kids aren't cool. The STEM kids are great. But it's like, why do you have to like basically use them as replacements for the other students? Why can't you do both? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But I just feel like these characters deserve a lot more love as well. There was no Casey in this episode, which is admittedly disappointing as someone who is a big fan of Casey, and, she's my favorite character. But I don't think this episode was necessarily missing her. I do question why she wasn't there because it was a class trip. In fact, let me actually check something real quick. I'm gonna mute this obviously because I don't want any audio to end up playing. There's a part near the end that showed like other members of the class other than just the STEM kids, and I want to see real quick if Casey was maybe shown amongst them. It was when he went to get the teacher, I believe. Okay. So it's after the point here, because here's where they're in the classroom and everything. Okay, it's... Okay. We see them mostly from the back. There's a character here, I think that might be Casey based on the hair. Like, we only see the hair and then a little bit of, like, the torso and the arms from the back. It might be Casey. Because we don't see any of the kids turn around, but we recognize a couple of them based on, like, their designs. Like the one girl with the headband and everything. I don't remember her name. That might be Casey there, though. Let me check at the beginning again, because... Does it show a little bit of them all together before they all split up? I know the STEM kids are all shown together right from the beginning. It shows like a tiny bit of the other kids here. You see a couple of the others. But I'm not seeing anything that like really goes out of its way to show everyone. Yeah, there's like a couple other kids who are shown here besides just our main STEM kid group for this episode. But I don't think like you can actively like see Casey at any point. You see maybe one character like closer to the end that might be Casey, but it's not 100% clear. And if you do see her, it's only like from the back. Oh, hold on. Here's a... Hold on, I found a shot from, like, above when they're in the room with the crystal. Crap, and now I accidentally skipped past it, and now I can't see... Now I don't see it again. I have to find it here. Ah, here we go. Okay. Yeah, that's Casey. Okay, so that Casey is shown kind of like a background character in this episode. She is on the trip, but she's not... You can't... you don't actually really see her. There's this one shot. It shows like a top... Almost a full top-down perspective. Like it's from like a security camera almost. And it shows the doctor talking about the crystal. It's like right before he unveils it. And it shows the entire class gathered around him. You see the STEM kids there, but you also see like a brief glimpse of Casey. So she's barely in this episode, but she's technically there. She doesn't have any speaking lines. She's not, like, on camera, really. But she is actually there. So, yeah, that's a fun little thing to find there. Because, yeah, it wouldn't make sense that Casey wouldn't be there with the rest of the students and all. But it also, like... was focused on a specific set of the students, the STEM kids and all. So I also understand why she wasn't, like, the focus here. I still want to see more of her, and I hope we will. And the last thing I really want to talk about here, though, is the romantic feelings between Lunella and Marvin. I believe I said it, like, when we were reacting before, and when we met Marvin... episodes back and all, I'm not fully sold on this relationship. And right now it's just a crush. They just kind of crush on each other. But I'm not really, like, I don't hate the idea of it, but it's just, I don't really see it either. I don't really get behind the relationship. I don't really support it because I just don't see the chemistry personally. I'm not saying that like there's no chance of that, but I just don't see it right now. And I'm not just saying that because like, oh, I want queer ships and stuff. I'd rather her and Casey be together or something like that. No, it's like I'd rather like the relationship, whatever it ends up being, if it ends up even, coming into anything. I would rather have a relationship be built on actual chemistry. And honestly, like, it's not about whether or not the relationship is straight or queer, though I do tend to gear towards queer relationships for obvious reasons. But it's not really about that here. I just want the relationship to make sense, to work in terms of a chemistry and character perspective. And you also have to take into account that, Marvin's, a Kree from another planet, and he is not going to be on Earth most of the time. It's like long distance relationships can exist, but that's very long distance. I have no issue with, her being in a relationship with a Kree. It's just, I don't know how this relationship would work with him not being on Earth. Unless he just ends up coming down to Earth full time. I don't know. That's my only kind of issues here. Do I think Casey would be a better partner for her? In some ways, yes, and in some ways, no. I see them as having great friendship chemistry, but I'm not sure if that translates entirely to romantic right now. Um, I don't know. The thing is though is there is definitely more there than with her and Marvin. I think her and Marvin just have a crush on each other. I don't necessarily think it's going to go anywhere, but I guess we'll see. If it does, if they do try to take it anywhere, I hope they at least give them more of a more actual chemistry outside of just a childlike crush. I hope they do a little more with it. But that's just my thoughts. Tell me in the comments below, what did you think of this episode of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur? And how excited are you to be back? There's only 14 episodes currently, so unless the next set of episodes comes out soon, that's where we're going to leave off on once we get to that. So hopefully more episodes come out soon. I mean, that would be ideal, but if it doesn't and we leave off on 14 for now, that's not a huge amount of episodes left, so because this was episode 9, so there's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 5 episodes after this. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, tell me your thoughts down below, and for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.